Python inheritance, the family tree of the coding world. If classes were people, inheritance would be the moment when a kid says, I got my mom's eyes, my dad's sense of humor, and my uncle's ability to overthink everything. In Python, inheritance is like passing down genetic traits, but instead of getting your grandma's cookie recipe, you get methods and attributes. And trust me, it's way less messy than cleaning your kitchen. In this episode, we're going to dive into the world of Python inheritance. By the end, you'll know how to make classes that inherit like pros, avoid family drama, method conflicts, and maybe even crack a smile or two. Let's get started. What is inheritance? Inheritance is the oops way of saying, hey, I like what you got there. Mind if I borrow it forever? It's when one class says to another class, I want to be just like you, but with a few tweaks because I'm special. Think of it like this. If animal is the parent class, then dog is the child class that says, I'm an animal, but I also bark at squirrels and steal socks. Inheritance is all about reusing code, so you don't have to rewrite the same stuff over and over. It's like copying your sibling's homework but changing a few answers, so the teacher doesn't notice. Let's start with a simple example. Imagine you have a class called Animal. It's a generic class that can do generic animal things, like making sounds. But then you have a dog class that says, I'm an animal, but I bark, because I'm fancy. In this example, dog inherits from animal, but overrides the speak method to bark instead of making a generic sound. It's like when your parents say, clean your room, and you say, I will, but then you just shove everything under the bed. You're technically following instructions, but not really. Here, dog calls the speak method from animal using super and then adds its own flair. It's like saying, thanks, Mom, for the recipe, but I'm adding extra cheese because I'm an adult now. Multiple inheritance. Python supports multiple inheritance, which is like having two parents. It's cool, but it can get complicated. Imagine inheriting your mom's love of gardening and your dad's love of heavy metal music. You're just one person trying to balance two very different worlds. In this example, the bat class inherits from both bird and mammal. It can fly and walk, which makes it the ultimate overachiever. But be careful, multiple inheritance can lead to conflicts, like when both parents tell you to do different things at the same time. Method resolution order, the family meeting. When you have multiple inheritance, Python needs to figure out which method to use if there's a conflict. This is called the method resolution order. It's like a family meeting where everyone argues about who gets to make the decision. When you have multiple inheritance, Python needs to figure out which method to use if there's a conflict. MRO method gives you the trail of this conflict. It's like a family meeting where everyone argues about who gets to make the decision. You can check the method resolution order using the MRO method. In this case, Python looks at bat first, then bird, then mammal, and finally object. It's like saying, ask the kid first, then mom, then dad, and if no one knows, just Google it. Overriding methods. The rebel phase. Sometimes the child class doesn't want to use the parent's method. It wants to do its own thing. This is called method overriding, and it's like when your parents tell you to be a doctor, but you decide to become a professional gamer instead. In this example, car overrides the start method from vehicle. It's like saying, I know how to start a vehicle, but I'm going to do it my way because I'm fancy and have a key. Abstract-based classes, the strict parents. Sometimes you want to create a class that's just a blueprint, a class that says, you must do this, but I'm not going to tell you how. This is called an abstract-based class. It's like a parent who says, you're going to college, but I'm not paying for it. In this example, shape is an abstract-based class that says, you must have an area method, but I'm not going to tell you how to calculate it. The circle class then steps up and says, fine, I'll do it myself. And there you have it. Python inheritance in a nutshell. It's like a family drama, but with less yelling and more coding. You've learned how to create child classes, use super to call parent methods, handle multiple inheritance without losing your mind, and even create abstract-based classes that boss other classes around. Remember, inheritance is all about reusing code and building on what already works. It's like standing on the shoulders of giants, or at least on the shoulders of your parent classes. So go forth, create your class hierarchies, and may your code be as elegant as a perfectly planned family reunion. Thank you for watching this. Happy coding. Have a good one. If you like these videos, please like, subscribe, share, or let me know your feedback in the comments section.
Aldous.